So as I was thinking about if I had to describe this day with one word, I would say hallelujah. And it's because that's the highest praise, but it's also an indicator of how grateful I am to be here today. There was a point where I wasn't sure we would be here, but I thank God for the wisdom and the words that helped us to see the value in this investment. So this project that we're here to celebrate today required planning, coordination, patience, funding, numerous reviews. Did I mention patience? Because it took us a while to get here. But that's just to get to this point. We've got work yet to do. But today, we want to take a moment and just be grateful for where we are and where we're going. So today, we'll hear from a number of speakers, all of whom represent a critical partnership that has helped us arrive to this point, this moment where we celebrate the realization of a goal and the future of Great Lakes cruising for Port Milwaukee. So on behalf of the Board of Harbor Commissioners and Port Milwaukee staff, I want to express gratitude to Mayor Cavalier Johnson. When we realized the price of the project had increased significantly, we really thought that we would have to let this project go. And in a meeting, after listening to me and some other team members list all the challenges with this project, all the hurdles we faced, and all of our frustrations with the changes, Mayor Johnson asked if we thought that it was worth moving forward. Now, I'm a former budget analyst, so I know the question does not always equate to the funding to make it happen. But I'm glad that our mayor chose to put his words into action and include the final piece of funding allocation needed for this project in the 2025 budget. So I just want to say thank you to Mayor Cavalier Johnson, and as we move forward, we'll continue to keep him abreast of this project, of course, but just to say thank you, Mayor, for believing in the project, for believing in the work of this team. And so please continue your applause in helping me welcome the great leader for our great city, Mayor Cavalier Johnson.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
How are we feeling down here in Bayview?
Great.
Or as the Alderwoman likes to call it, the United States of Bayview, I just learned here. So today is a really, really tremendous day for Milwaukee, but not just for Milwaukee, the entire state of Wisconsin, and really the entire Great Lakes region. So we're here to break ground on the South Shore Cruise Dock, a project that represents opportunity, that represents growth, that represents partnership. Now, this new dock will welcome Seaway Max cruise vessels and thousands of visitors from literally all over the United States, and not just across the United States, but literally all over the globe. Now, every one of those visitors, they're going to spend time in Milwaukee. They're going to spend money in Milwaukee. They will dine at our restaurants. They will stay in our hotels. They will shop in our neighborhoods. They will enjoy our cultural attractions all throughout the city. That activity, what it means is jobs. It means jobs. It means jobs and opportunities for residents who call Milwaukee home. It means stronger businesses for our entrepreneurs. It means more revenue that supports the services that we provide here at the city. So by strengthening Miss Milwaukee, this city, as a premier destination, we expand Wisconsin's reputation and ensure that the economic impact of tourism is felt not just here in the city, but in the region, and it benefits the entire state of Wisconsin. In my 2025 budget, as Jackie just noted, I invested millions of dollars to make this project possible. But this project, this achievement, is not the city's alone to celebrate. So we worked in true partnership. The state of Wisconsin stepped up and provided a $3.5 million capital tourism grant, as well as a $500,000 harbor assistance program grant. So I want to thank give it up, please do. I'm going to ask you to give a round of applause because the state is here. Secretary Kathy Blumenfeld is here, and her leadership in the Department of Administration helped to make all that possible. So please give the Secretary a round of applause as well. And I, of course, want to thank the entire administration of the state of Wisconsin, Governor Evers in particular, for supporting this development. Also want to thank my colleagues on the Milwaukee Common Council. You'll hear from Alderwoman Marina Dimitrievich pretty soon here, who represents this area. I know we're joined as well by Alderwoman Andrea Pratt from the 1st District, so thank you very much for being here, Alderwoman. And I want to thank Jackie and all the staff over at Port Milwaukee for all the work they've done to make this a reality as well. So please give Port Milwaukee staff a round of applause because they really deserve it. Now, Jackie, though, has been a real driving force in this work. It's been her steady leadership, her ability to bring people together, and her commitment to the future of the port that have been really crucial, really critical in getting us to this point that we are right now. So this progress also reflects the groundwork that was laid by former port director Adam Tyndall-Schlitt, who is somewhere in the crowd. There he is. Please give a round of applause to Adam Tyndall-Schlitt. His leadership and dedication helped set the stage for the success that we're celebrating here today. Finally, I want to celebrate and thank Visit Milwaukee. Visit Milwaukee and Peggy Williams-Smith, whose tireless efforts to ensure that visitors experience the very best of Milwaukee, the very best of our city. She has been an outstanding partner, and I couldn't be more happy to continue to partner with her on this and so many other great things in Milwaukee. So please give Peggy Williams-Smith a round of applause. So, ladies and gentlemen, together we're making a Milwaukee, we're making that's stronger, we're making a port that's stronger, we're making a city that's stronger, and really a Wisconsin that is stronger. Thank you so much, and I'll pass it back to Jackie.
So as Mayor Johnson alluded to, the state of Wisconsin has been a constant among those who support our work at Port Milwaukee, not at just this project, but always throughout all of our work. From the Harbor Assistance Program to Wisconsin Coastal Management Grants to just information and resource sharing, our partners at the state have long been a part of the success at Port Milwaukee. That support continues with this project, with the funding package that makes this project possible. $3.5 million from Wisconsin Department of Administration Tourism Capital Grant Program, and an additional $500,000 from Wisconsin Department of Transportation's Harbor Assistance Program. So representing our partners at the state of Wisconsin, please help me welcome Wisconsin Department of Administration Secretary Kathy Blumenfeld.
Good morning. What a beautiful day, everyone. Thank you so much, Mayor Johnson and Director Carter. You have been true partners to work with. On behalf of Governor Evers and the Department of Administration, I am just thrilled to be here with all of you today to celebrate this incredible milestone. As you know, this project will have a sizable impact on the city of Milwaukee and the greater Milwaukee area, with good-paying jobs, new opportunities, additional tourism, and so much more. The state was proud to support Port Milwaukee, as mentioned, with a $3.5 million tourism capital grant, as well as a $500,000 award from the Department of Transportation Harbor Assistance Program to help support this project a few years back. At all of the tourism capital projects, including this dock expansion we're kicking off today, demonstrated the ability to draw visitors both nationally and internationally. And since those grants were announced, the Wisconsin tourism sector has been on a record-breaking spree with over a $25 billion economic impact and over 115 million visits, supporting over 180,000 jobs. It's amazing, isn't it? As my colleague, Tourism Secretary Ann Sayers shared recently, Wisconsin tourism brought in more money, welcomed more visitors, and generated more revenue for state and local governments than in any year of the last 3 years. So let's keep that going. Cruise ships on the Great Lake host thousands of passengers, including visitors from around the world each year. We know that this project will help even more people enjoy the best of Wisconsin right here in Milwaukee and create over 200 local jobs and over $250,000 in additional revenue for the port. Being able to expand capacity for today's larger cruise ships and help grow those numbers for years to come is a big reason why we've supported this project from the start, and I'm thrilled to be part of it. Thank you so much, and let's get her done.
All right, so beyond the funding for this project, Milwaukee, we knew we needed buy-in from Milwaukee's council, because I don't think I have to tell any of you that we need a lot of people involved to get things done. So Port staff armed me with facts, information and data to present and support the mayor's capital budget allocation for this project. Though we did face some opposition, I had to turn into a lobbyist for a minute. The Common Council ultimately voted to support this project. So they retained the final funding piece in the 2025 budget, and representing Milwaukee's Common Council today is the 14th District Alderwoman, Marina Dmitrievich.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. I am one of the happiest people here today. In fact, I almost could have walked here had I worn a little better shoes. I just live very close here. I'm happy to see my colleague Alderwoman Pratt is here as well. We've got members from the South Shore Yacht Club. There's also people, residents, neighbors, people from the Bayview Neighborhood Association. We like a good party here in Bayview, and we're ready to provide a welcoming party for everyone who steps off these wonderful cruises. As Jackie alluded to, they are challenging decisions in challenging times. When the mayor puts forth such a bold vision to make a large investment, you could imagine it's sitting there as a funding source for possibly other ideas and issues. I mean, we are a democratic institution, but with the good work of the mayor's vision to make that major investment in the city of Milwaukee and this neighborhood, we were able to convince the Common Council to get millions of dollars. It was $2 million and then an additional $5 million towards the end as the cost did rise. That's one comment about the cost, but let's talk about what the return on the investment looks like. The return on the investment, as you heard, will be jobs, and I certainly hope that as each and every one of our international and national members and visitors step off the cruises, that they step right on into the Bayview neighborhood. We pride ourselves in being one of the most welcoming parts of the city of Milwaukee. All people are welcome at all times, and we can't wait to provide that amazing cup of coffee or that beautiful dinner that is often recognized in the Journal-Sentinel as some of the top and hot dining spots. So with that, it will stimulate the local economy and continue to put our neighborhood and the city on the map where we deserve to be. The last point I want to make, and I want to go back to thanking the mayor for making this investment, I often in the debates, both Jackie and Peggy and I would say things like, if you build it, they will come. I know that's been used a lot, but it really means a lot here. It's hard to, as Peggy and our friends at the state know, to invest precious dollars in tourism for visitors when we have a lot of needs in the city as well. But I think we were able to step up and make that investment because we know that it all trickles down. When you stimulate the local economy, those are in small business pockets, and those are the people that live in the neighborhood and make this a wonderful place to be. So I could not be happier than I am right now and I didn't know that this day was going to happen, so I'm so happy that it is, to break ground, and soon we'll be celebrating the first sale as well. I know that's always, I've learned that in the boating industry, it's a pretty exciting time to be around that. So thank you, welcome again. Thank you for investing in the city, and thank you for investing in District 14 and in the Bayview neighborhood. Thank you.
Let me just add a line. So if you build it, they will come. Not only will they'll come back. And nobody knows that better than our next speaker. It's no secret that Port Milwaukee's legacy has been commercial cargo movement and international shipping. When Port staff recognized the opportunity with Great Lakes Cruising, we couldn't rely on our commercial experience. We needed experts and service providers who knew how to serve people, or as I like to call cruise passengers, cargo with an opinion. We wanted to be sure that they left Milwaukee with the best opinion. That meant providing a premier experience. So we turned to the folks who do it best. Visit Milwaukee. Please welcome Visit Milwaukee's President and CEO, Peggy Williams-Smith.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much. On behalf of Visit Milwaukee, it is an honor to join Mayor Johnson, Alderwoman Dmitrievich, Secretary Blumenfeld, and of course the amazing Jackie Carter for this amazing day. The South Shore Cruise Dock is an investment in Milwaukee's future as a premier Great Lakes cruise destination. With this dock, we are opening our city's doors even wider to travelers from around the country and around the world. These visitors not only bring their excitement and curiosity, but they bring their dollars to our local businesses, our attractions, and our hospitality community. And we do have 191 neighborhoods that they get to explore, and I know the alderman would like it if they were all in District 14, but we want to make sure they're everywhere, and Teresa will help us do that. Milwaukee has already proven itself to be one of the most popular destinations on all Great Lakes cruise itineraries. Passengers consistently tell us how much they enjoy our culture, our dining, our lakefront, and most of all, the warm welcome they receive when they're here. That welcome begins the moment that they step off the ship, when our event experience team and our wonderful volunteers greet every cruise call with the hospitality and pride that define Milwaukee. So I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out to my team for all the hard work they do every time a cruise docks here in Milwaukee. The economic impact from these visitors is clear. In the 2025 cruise season, this passengers generated approximately $2.5 million in local economic impact, and by 2026 that number is projected to grow to $3.5 million. These dollars support our hotels, our restaurants, our small businesses, our attractions, and they also support the Milwaukeeans who work in all of those different jobs. So I want to thank Mayor Johnson for his leadership, the state of Wisconsin for their investment, Director Jackie Carter and the entire Port Milwaukee team for their vision and determination to get us here today. Together, we are ensuring Milwaukee is not just a stop along the way, but a destination that inspires visitors to return again and again, and they do. They return again and again. We can't wait to welcome more ships, more passengers, and more opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you all. Now, there's a lot of people who want to celebrate this day, and some of them are not on the stage. And so, if you allow me, I want to acknowledge a few additional folks. The harbor commissioners, who are the folks who oversee our work at Port Milwaukee and really hold us accountable and challenge us to grow. A few of them are present here today. So if you all would stand and be acknowledged. Thank you. I also want to acknowledge some supporters who we've had in the background, kind of sharing our story. If you've ever heard Congresswoman Gwen Moore speak, you know that she says her favorite constituent is Lake Michigan. And so we want to acknowledge, she's not here today, but her staff is represented here by Rob Hansen. And so we want to acknowledge her and her support with this project as well. And of course, while we need the funding and we need all the support and we need the know-how, we need the people who are really going to be the ones actually putting the shovels in the ground. And that is some of our contractors and partners who are here. So if you're here in the audience and you're part of this project, if you want to stand or wave your hand if you're already standing. Okay, noted. Our contractors are shy. Okay. Here's another group that I'm not going to ask you. Well, I'm going to ask you to stand, but I hope you do it or wave. And that's the Port Milwaukee team, because we're here. You know, when we thought that this was going to be a challenge and people were kind of pushing back and really asking, was this the right thing to do? They were the ones coming with the information and the things that supported this investment and really helped to tell the story about why this was the right thing to do and the right investment to make. And so I want to acknowledge Port Milwaukee staff, wherever you are, stand or raise your hand. And you saw a few of them as you drove in. But I also want to give special recognition to one staff member in particular, and that's Brian Kasperzak, our chief engineer. Brian, I think if anybody lost more sleep over this than me, it was Brian. And so, because Brian was the one working with the contractors, with the designers, and making sure that the platform was going to meet the needs of the cruise ships, and all the services that they were going to need. So I really want to shout him out and ask you guys to give him a special round of applause. And with that, I'll thank you all for being here. And if there are any questions, we'll take those at this time.
Peggy said there was going to be a $1 million projection increase from this year's economic
It's a combination. So the port this year we have scheduled, and I'm looking for Corey because I'm probably gonna mess this number up. 2022 cruise visits. Next year that will more than double. We have scheduled right now 55. So there will be, this year we have all turnaround visits. Next year we'll have a number of transit visits. So the difference between those two, in a turnaround, you're going to see one group of passengers get off the vessel and another one will get on. So we're getting two groups of passengers. In a transit visit, they're going to stop in the city, they're going to get off, they're doing excursions, then they'll get back on, and then they'll continue their cruise. So we'll see a number of those transit visits coming next year.
Why now? Why specifically this year?
Well, I will tell you kind of the story I've told other people. When we were talking about this, of course, Viking has come here for a number of years. They started here in 2022. They've been coming repeatedly every year. They now have a second ship that they've invested in. That ship also visits our port. We have great service here, right? So you can come to Milwaukee, you can get the stores, you can get the services that you need, and we've done well with that. Our crew supports them. We have the partners that also support that. But we're also one of the only deep draft ports on the Great Lakes who can provide all those services. So when you can provide those services and nobody else really can, you can afford to have an ugly dock. Well, when other ports start seeing what we're doing here at Milwaukee and they start investing in infrastructure, well, now we've got to have both. And so we see Duluth making investments. We see other Great Lakes ports making investments. And so we want to make sure that we retain that premier cruise dock status. And so that means investing in the infrastructure that's going to also give not only the great service that our team and our partners have been able to provide, but also to be able to give that premier experience. If you don't know where we currently dock Viking ships, it's in the middle of the commercial port, right next to MMSD. That's not the welcome. Am I right, Peggy? That's not the welcome you want to give to visitors. And so I think even if it wasn't now, eventually the investment was going to need to be made. But the timing also was because we had the opportunity to take advantage of the grant that Secretary Blumenfeld spoke about, the Capital Tourism Grant. Those were ARPA dollars, and we know that funding has gone away. And so we had to be able to use those dollars before we lost the right to do so. And so that was also part of the timing. Yep.
So the question is, why now? Because I'm not kidding when I talk about wanting to grow this city. And I think the port and this development right now is a great intersection about what we're talking about in terms of doing that. I believe that making these sort of investments not only brings people here, because I believe in tourism, I believe in hospitality, I believe in people sharing those stories and folks coming back here, possibly starting business here, moving here. But as I also mentioned, it also supports jobs on the ground for people who presently call Milwaukee home. So I'm not kidding about wanting to grow Milwaukee. And this is one of the avenues in which we'll work to see that happen over the course of a number of years. We're laying the foundation to grow this city, and this represents that. All right. Let's break some ground, guys.
Yeah, let's do it.
Thank you.
How did back to school start for you guys?
Oh, very good.
Good, are we good?
Very good. Oh my gosh, I'll show you a picture.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so everybody, let's grab a scoop of dirt.
I am not appalled. But the future continues.